What's going on, guys? So today on this Shoky review, we're going to be taking a look at the new Bandai Super Minipla Galaxy Mega. And then also Delta Mega. Although not in this review. Basically what we have here is the new Super Minipla that, is from Power Rangers in Space. So, but of course, being the Sentai that it is, Galaxy Mega, that was the thing. I believe it was Mega Ranger is the actual thing. So, but we're going to be going over this side, which is, of course, the Astro Mega ship, as it was, or known as Galaxy Mega in that one. But this is actually the outer box. Because something interesting about these are not just the box that the whole thing can come in, it's also a display box, so you can rip open the perforated edges here and sell the thing on the shelf if you wanted to do so. So if you come around this side, you get spoilers, you come around this side, you get more spoilers, you come around this side, you get the actual Rangers, which, it looks kind of silly without any actual color because there's no difference in most of them except for the girls. So there's that. And of course, come to the top and it's got a thing, and you go to the bottom and it's nothing. But what we're going to do is take a look at one of the smaller boxes on the inside. That one. It took a second to. And of course, this is the Super Minipla Astro Megazord. So what's funny, although that particular box, the bigger one, was sealed, none of the labels on the outside were changed, whereas the labels on here, it has a big old sticker slapped on there, probably by Bluefin, even Power Rangers in Space there. And now, of course, because I introduced something blue to the screen, all my settings are a little bit wonky, but I just have to deal with it. So, you've got Astro Megazord right here, you've got all the Sentai stuff, Super Minipla there, Bandai right there, Bandai 2019, and you come to this side, and you've got Mega Shuttle, Mega Ship, Megazord. That was easy enough. And you get to read up there. It's 11 meters, 150 tons, 6.5 meters tall, if I had to guess, 37 meters wide, and 20 meters long. I don't know. Dimensions, 200,000 tons. That's pretty damn heavy. Includes Astro Megazord, Saber, Shield, and Blaster. That's cool. Come around on this side, you got some upside down stuff. It says Super Minipla right there. Even though it says Super Minipla right there. That's so dumb. And come over here and you've got Megazord. Read up there, warnings, do not stick this in anybody's face because, you know, Mega Ranger is bad for your eyes. Come around here, even more. This entire bottom is a Bluefin warning sticker. That is terrible. If we come to the back, you've got Megazord, Megaship, Megazord, all the stuff in the box. Hey, the thing can go in the thing, and hey, there's a smaller thing there that goes over to here. Wait, what? And then stuff and things and stuff. So yeah, Super Megapla. That's what they should call it. Just call it Megapla, even though Mini does imply that it's smaller. As it technically is, whatever that says. So that's cool. And unfortunately, due to the way that the box is, there's no good way to end up with it upside down except to just force it, and boom. Even the Megazord still ends up upside down. There's no trickery, I just kind of had to do it. Guys, there's a build montage. Haven't seen one of those in a while, have you? And I did actually build this guy while on my little mini vacation. You guys should have seen the vlog footage from that. Didn't even mention it, did I? Nope. Because only the patrons knew this was coming, because they've seen the unboxing. And in fact, they probably, if I did this well enough, hopefully they got to see this review a little bit before everybody else. But either way, let's get to that build montage. Build us a Megazord. Alright, so here we have the Astro Megazord, although it looks a little funny for a Megazord, don't it? That's right, because this is its mega ship formation. So we have the Astro Mega Ship right there, and it does come in its nice shippy mode here. And of course you do have the shuttle, along with its booster right there. So we saw this in the episode where the Turbo Rangers failed and they end up going into space. They jump on the Nasada shuttle and it goes into space. And it flies off into a thing until they run into a mega ship that was in orbit for some reason. So, yeah. So you've got the shuttle here. If my autofocus will figure it out. And it comes in white and blue for the most part, but then there are stickers. So they got the black sticker right there on the nose. That's a sticker, because I said sticker. You got the windshield sticker, and you've got wing stickers for all these bits around here, which of course peel as you make light contact with them, like you do. The booster part basically just consists of these two outer bits here, and then the center part, which is really funny to think that the booster that took them into space technically becomes a weapon and part of the whole thing in the first place. The shuttle itself actually became part of the Megazord in the first place, which was strange because the whole thing was commissioned to be built by Zordon a long time ago. We do have the Astro Megazord sword, which has nowhere to store, unfortunately. It's just a thing that's chilling out in space until you need it, I guess. It's kind of funny how similar it does look to the Turbo Power Sword, or whatever you want to call it. But, yeah, that's the thing. You do have the sticker right there. So the emblem of the series. The little triangles inside the thing, inside the swirly thingy. Okay. And the mega ship itself is pretty cool. Now, guys, I have never had any version of this before. I always wanted the original one from back in the day, and in space is basically where I stopped collecting. I really wanted this guy. I don't know that I ever really saw it in stores, or maybe I was just buying other things. I loved the series. I loved everything that was going on. I still watched Power Rangers, but I stopped buying at Turbo. So the Turbo Megazord was the last real Megazord I ever bought back in the day, because after I got through Zeo, I had virtually the entire Zeo collection. This one, because I loved space, I loved Stargate, I loved Star Wars, Star Trek, and this thing is basically a Millennium Falcon ripoff, design-wise. Pretty obvious, and it could have been worse. They put the turrets there. Yeah, I never got to have this thing. And it is loaded with surface details, as you can see. Now, I have weathered it just ever so slightly with my Real Touch weathering markers, and I did panel line at least the grayish silverish parts with a normal fine line panel line marker, not the pour type. The pour type, due to the chemicals in it, the thinner, the alcohol, whatever it is, does eat and cause breakage to ABS. So this being a slightly different formulation and nowhere near as thick on thinner, really didn't have it. It took a lot of cleanup though, like just really having to rub down the edges, but I think it shows off fairly nicely all the things. Now, Super Minipla, like we discovered with Voltron, is massively sticker heavy. So the cockpit area there, totally chrome and red metallic stickers there. Same thing for the vents right there. That's the little weird kind of like robotic face sticker there. But then this part's painted, so that's pretty cool. The M is actually a clear piece, but there's a foil sticker underneath it. You can see it glowing. And you do get these pieces down here that are all stickers. And then plastic. Nothing in this area here. You get some more on the side right there. And then as we go, more will be revealed, of course. And then you've got a big sticker underneath, which that's actually the shield for the Megazord. Oh, I just realized I got this part off by a spot. It goes there. So that's one thing that's cool. The fins back here do move. Hold on, let me go back to autofocus. The fins back here do pivot, so they're supposed to be more or less straight up and down. They kind of look a little bit better if you tilt them. ever so slightly. I think it actually just looks a little bit better. One thing, because these are the crotch flaps, skirts, they do move like so. So that's the thing. And you do have visible hand syndrome, but what's really funny is the Megazord in the show totally did too. Now, this part here where the hips and the crotch technically are, I don't think that was as obvious. I could be wrong. And I do have some separation issues with certain bits of this thing. And you can see what looks to be a big crack running through there, but I think it's okay. So it's pretty cool. Oh, one thing that's really neat, just like the toy, it has wheels, so it can roll. I mean, you push it a little too hard, it will nosedive. But neat thing is, of course, if you take your shuttle, you can pop it off of here very carefully. Hopefully I can do it without popping everybody else off. It is just pegged in via that little guy right there. And you split the front of the megaship like so. And you've got these holes right there. You got those posts right there. Plug her on in. Now this will pop this open ever so slightly. Now I think that is a strange problem to have, considering it's supposed to be a thing. But then we close that up. Just make sure everybody's nice and aligned. And there you go. There's the megaship, mostly complete. And you can see the fin that was on the back of the shuttle fills that out really nicely. I dig that. Other thing you can do, you can totally take this guy, split the little booster thingies off, plug them in here on the sides. So they're either thrusters or guns. I'm not entirely certain. I don't remember this actually ever being a thing, but the instructions show it. Now you come down to this, and you basically turn it into its gun mode, which the hardest part is flipping out the barrel. There's just no real way to get a good thumbnail in there. And use the post right there. Plug it in down here. And now you've got an armed up megaship. So you're like, now, one thing that's kind of sad is that, you know, spoilers for a 20-year-old show, the megaship does get destroyed, but they do make a new one later on. And even the Lost Galaxy Rangers get to mess with it a little bit. Stuff like that. It makes an appearance here and there, and even in the Boom comics. So, there's that. But, let's get to transformation. Pretty simple, very much like the original one was. You want to come down here, pull off the arms. I know, it sucks. You're going to remove the shield from the bottom, because it'll just be in the way. It just pegs into these two spots. Just pull that guy off, set it off to the side. And I can plug the arms back in to the same spots. Honestly, you can leave the shield off if you're really keen on that. It really doesn't matter that much. Okay, so grab the front of the ship and split it just like we did before. Go ahead and rotate the turrets parallel to the feet. There we go. Now you want to come over here to the bottom again. Untab these from the sides of the legs. Those will be your shoulders. And split it. Like so. By now, actually, the shuttle has taken off. It was like, flies away. I'm sure Bruno has probably animated that so much better. Shout out to Bruno and Mio, MMPR reviews. Okay, so we're going to straighten out the legs using all these nicely done joints here. Grab the red thingies, flip them in to just kind of pretend to fill that in. Then you just close up the arms, push down on this bit so the arm slides down, and then just sort of rock it out, push down, rock it out, rock it out, rock it out, rock it. Anyways, come to the shuttle, pull this. I always like this transformation. So the back slides back on this double hinge, the front goes up on a double hinge, revealing the Megazord face. You've got a hole, you got a post, you just plug that into the top of the head and just let that dangle. and then you just fly it in and plug it on. And there we have the Astro Megazord. Alright, so now that he's in Astro Megazord mode, let's go ahead and bring out some comparisons. We have Super Minipla Voltron, which Voltron's pretty big, so I guess that's nice. You know, he's well over a head taller, even just at the head, but that's two Super Miniplas together to really compare. Bring out a high-grade Gunpla. That if you want to see a review to that, you have to be a patron. Yeah, you heard me. Here is a Gernsback. You see quite a bit shorter. And finally, a Wally. So he's a good size. I mean, obviously he's not deluxe Megazord size, but in comparison, he's probably just a little shorter than the Build-A-Megazord. And eventually, if I get the In-Space Rangers, which I kind of want to get, I can actually do that comparison, so that'll be cool. Okay, so let's look at his articulation real quick. So it is a very articulate thing, being that it is a Super Minipla. And Voltron was very articulate, and this guy is really no exception. So, starting with the head, it can turn side to side. So even though you have this part back here, it is on a swivel right there in the middle. So he can look very far left to right. That's already better than virtually any Megazord ever. Now, I will be honest, I don't know that the deluxe version of this had that. I assume it didn't. So yeah, I'll leave it at that. Shoulders, you do get rotation all the way around. You do get a hinge joint right in there, so you can go out at least to 90 degrees. And of course, if you want to, you can sort of tilt it up and be like, hi. Okay. You do get bicep rotation right through there, or just above the elbow rotation. It is a single jointed elbow, but the angle is ridiculous, so there's no complaints there. And ball joint mounted fists, of course, on both sides. You do have a very loose center section right here. It's actually kind of similar to the way Voltron's was. It was just loose. No good way to deal with it. Oh, I didn't even catch this. I forgot that the neck actually could look up and down. I accidentally found that. That's awesome. Okay, so he does rotate at the top section, and he does rotate kind of here. Does he? No? Okay. I didn't think about the fact that that's just a through piece. So, it does rattle. I don't like that. So I try to squish that together. Now the legs, since you have these skirts here, you can kick really far forward like that. Of course, from the side, it's going to look ridiculous. You have these nice side kick like that, so he can, once you get that out of the way, dummy, get a nice perfect Jean-Claude. Fold that back, fold that back. He does have thigh rotation up there. That's nice. Once again, those are splitting. It annoys me. He does have a double jointed knee, technically, so it hinges down here and it hinges up here. This is the stiffer hinge, though, so it's kind of a thing, but he can basically kick himself in the back of the head, no problem. And you do want some tension there, but this part of the knee being a little bit looser is slightly annoying, if I'm honest. And the feet are on a nice hinge and a ball joint. And then also that transformation hinge. So he can do a whole lot. And he can get a fairly wide stance. That's not really a dynamic pose, but it is what it is. So let's go ahead and arm him up, because he does have his weapons. We've already seen the gun, but now we've got to put the boosters back on. And a general rule of thumb for the boosters, the hollow parts face the hollow side, so that the top of it looks fine like that. And you can just go pew 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 pew. Shoots a Voltron. Oh, I guess technically speaking, you have a reverse butterfly if you pop that loose, but you probably just don't want to, if I'm honest. Okay, so we lose that. There's no good storage for that in bot mode. Give him the sword, which hollow side generally inward. So he's got a nice sword attacking mode. Attacking modo. And then you have the shield that we took off earlier. It's got an interesting little transformation, although slightly annoying only because of this. So you pop that out of there, plug it in to either one of those, it doesn't really matter. And you rotate it this way, and shunk. There you go, shield. Make sure that the M kind of shape is facing the way it is, or the big triangle is pointing downward. Just a fair point is that it's always supposed to look like an M. And just plug that into his hand, like so. And it does have a hinge on it, so you can turn it ever so slightly. That's pretty cool. Now I remember that like he used to use that to like enter the atmosphere. Like he would like be flying downward like this with the shield out front to like block the heat so he could enter the atmosphere. I totally remember that. If I can find an image of it, I will pull it up here. Hold on, I just pop that arm off. And you notice that there's two holes for the arms. That's obviously for a different mode entirely, as we should probably suspect. But yeah, you can totally recreate the whole flying into the atmosphere thing like that. Or I think it actually was like this. If I can find it, I'll have it on the screen here. But yeah, I really do like this. Now, for everybody screaming at the screen, but Shoky, where did you get it? I can't find this anywhere in my hobby stores. I picked it up at Big Bad Toy Store for roughly $85 to $90, depending. I think the normal price is about $90. Now, mind you, he's not $90. The set that it comes in, both of them together, is $90. And yeah, Minipla is expensive. Don't forget that this boy right here was, you know, pretty expensive in and of himself. And that's 5 smaller, much smaller robots than this guy, all in all. Also, this was the first Megazord, at least in Power Rangers, that was a Megazord unto itself. It didn't have to really combine with much else. There weren't multiple Zords to combine to form the Megazord itself. It's just the Megaship with the shuttle, which were always meant to be together anyways, because even Andros didn't know that the Megaship could transform until they found the shuttle and then accidentally activated the Megazord sequence because, you know, there's a whole big thing. Like I said, you know, Zordon had it made just in case, and then it came up just in the right time, and this, that, and the other. It's pretty cool. It's a very cool Zord. But, guys, that's going to be it for this review. But, of course, this is going to be a multi-part review because, of course, we know there's a whole other Megazord involved in this set. So make sure you come back next time for that. But before then, make sure you hit that big ol' like button. Hit that big ol' thumbs up. Hit the subscribers button down there. And if you want to help support the channel, by all means, check out the Patreon. Check out the Shoky shirts. But just remember that the patrons got to see the unboxing for this a long time ago, long before the review came out. You actually get to see a lot of unboxings, and they get to see first out of the box reviews of things that I pick up. So there might be some incentive there to go check out the Patreon. But come back next time for the Delta Megazord. But until then, keep on building.